Hello friends, welcome to another science class, and today we'll be discussing completing the square method. The reason why I chose this topic to discuss is because I've noticed many students using completing the square method to solve quadratic equations, and most times they just follow procedures. They don't actually understand what it means to complete the square. Don't even know why it's given that name, completing the square. So during the course of this class, we're going to understand what it means to complete the square method. And when you're solving completing the square method next time, I think it will be more easier and simpler. So let us dive right into it, completing the square method. Now, I will start with baby steps, and then as we proceed, it gets more difficult. So first of all, the key word I want to pick there is square. Now, what does square mean in this context? Now, if you should have, let me say, 5 square, for instance, it means that 5 is multiplying itself, so it should be 5 times 5. In the same vein, if you should have a square, it also means a times a. Let's say now you have a term like x plus 3 all squared. It would also be x plus 3 multiplying x plus 3. Now, if I should multiply this, I expect that you people should know how to expand algebraic expressions like this. But let us just go through it. First of all, each item here will multiply all the items here. So x would multiply x plus 3. So I will have x multiplying x plus 3. If x should multiply x plus 3, I will now be left with what here? I would now be left with plus 3. And plus 3 should also multiply x plus 3. So plus 3 would also multiply x plus 3. Now, if x should multiply x, I would get x square. If x should multiply 3, I will get plus 3x. If plus 3 should multiply x, I will get plus 3x. Now, plus 3 multiplying plus 3 will give me 9. X square plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. So it should be x square. Now, 3x plus 3x are like them, so I will add them, plus 6x plus 9. I've expanded this. So what you are seeing now is a square, and this is the square of x plus 3. So x plus 3 square would give me x plus 3 square would give me x square plus 6x plus 9. I hope that was clear. And let us expand another one, another square. This one, something like x minus 4 all squared. And if I want to expand this, I expect it should be x minus 4 multiplying x minus 4. Now, in the same vein as I did the first one, my x would multiply, this x here will multiply all of x minus 4. And if x should multiply all of x minus 4, I'll be left with what is now here, minus 4. So x minus 4 will also multiply all of x minus 4. Please, if you find expansion more difficult, you could make a comment in the comment section. I might cover that as a topic of its own. Our main aim in this channel is to simplify mathematics. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 4 will give me minus 4x. Now minus 4 times x would now be also minus 4x. And minus 4 times minus 4 would now be plus. Minus times minus is plus. 4 times 4 is 16. So remember, minus 4s minus 4s are like terms. So I have s squared minus 4s is minus 8s plus 16. I hope this makes sense also. So let's proceed further. So these are examples of squares, and as you can see here from this image, x square minus 8 square minus 8x plus 16 is the square of x minus 4. So x minus 4 square will give me x square minus 8 plus 8x plus 16. So now we're going to do something. I'm going to bring out an image of four squares, or four perfect squares. I want us to notice a pattern for all these squares. So let me bring up the image for four perfect squares. So my first image would be this. I'll drop this image here. My second image would be this. My second image would be this. I'll drop this one here. Let me adjust it a little bit. Let us expand our screen to make it more conspicuous. I think this is perfect. So let's go. So now I have four squares here. I have x plus 2 all squared. I have x plus 2 all squared. I have also I have x plus 2 all squared. I have x plus 3 all squared. I have x minus 4 all squared. I have x minus 5 all squared. We have already factorized, we have already expanded some this and this earlier. So now, but if you decide, if you've already expanded this and this earlier, I mean, sorry, and now if you decide to expand this and this, you also get this. So all these are squares, are perfect squares. I want us to see if you can see a pattern for that all perfect squares will be. So just watch closely. Let us look at the coefficient of the x term. That is the number that have x beside them, not x squared but x. So here coefficient of x here is plus 4. Coefficient of x here is plus 6, and bring it out. Coefficient of x here is minus 8. Coefficient of x here is minus 5, so minus 10. Now, I want us to do something. I want us to take the half of all of them. So half of plus 4 should be 2. Half of plus 6 should be 3. Half of minus 8 should be minus 4. And half of minus 10 should be 5. It should be minus 5. Now, I want us to, now once you've gotten here, now just look at this and see if you see a relationship. Is there a relationship between this and this? Is there a relationship between this and this? Is there a relationship between this and this? Is there also a relationship between this and this? Just pause the video and see if you can notice any relationship between these two. Between this now. You can pause the video and try. But let me now say it. Now, if you should square 2, you will get 4. If you should square 3, you would get 9. If you should square minus 4, you would get 16. And if you should square minus 5, you will get 25. Does this make sense to you now? So you can see let us take this one as a case study. If you look at the coefficient of b, half of v square would give you this. The same with this, the same with this, the same with this, the same with this. Now all perfect squares obey this rule. All perfect squares obey this rule. Now I want you to notice something else now. X plus 2 squared gave me this, and 4 here is 2 squared. X plus 3 squared gave me this, which is 9, and 9 here is 3 squared. And x minus 4 squared gave me plus 16, which is minus 4 times minus 4, which is minus 4 squared. So with this in mind, meaning if I want to factorize this thing now, it's just x plus 2. If I factorize this one, it will be x plus 3 squared. If I factorize this, it should be x minus 4 squared. I mean, you can see it from here also. Now, this one also, if I factorize it, it should also be x minus 5 all squared. So this is a clue to what we'll be doing next. So this bearing this pattern in mind that all perfect squares obey, we are going to complete some perfect squares now. So I'm going to bring out other image. In that image, you will see curves, and we are going to complete these stems and make them perfect squares. So we'll start with the easy ones and then progress to more difficult ones. So one image coming up, just drop the image here. Let's expand this. I think that is good enough. Now we are going to complete. We are going to complete the squares. We are going to complete the squares. We are going to complete the squares here. So I have x square minus 14x plus dash. So what will you add here to make this a perfect square? Just want to make this a square. What should you add here? Now to answer this, let us now remember the pattern we talked about earlier. Now x square 14x. So let us ask ourselves, what is half of 4 plus 14? Half of plus 14 is 7. Now to make this a perfect square, what I should have is x square plus 14x. Then I will now add plus 7 square. When I've done this, this is now a perfect square. And this is the square of what? What square will give me x square plus 14x plus 7 square? It is x plus, this is what is here, 7 all square. So if I should expand this now, I will get x square plus 14x plus 7 square. I hope I'm making sense here. Let us now tackle the next one. I have x square plus 40x plus dash. Now, what would we add here to make this a perfect square? So let's check. X square plus 40x. Now, half of 40 should be 20. Yes. So it means to make the perfect square, we have to add 20 square to it. Now, x square plus 40x plus 20 square is the square of what? Can you guess? It should be x plus, please not plus 40, but plus 20. And don't add the square, plus 20 all squared. So if you should expand this, you would get back this. Now try this on your own also. See if you can get what it should be. First of all, x squared plus 12x plus, what would you add here to make it a perfect square? And then what you will get, is it a square of what? Fill it up for me here. So if you know the answer, please make a comment down in the comment section. So let's proceed. Let us now move to a more difficult one. Let's assume we have negative numbers as the coefficient of x. So bring up another image now. Let me remove this one. And bring up another image. In this one, the coefficient of x should be negative. Let me bring it up. Let me expand my screen to make it more conspicuous. So we are going to complete these squares. We are going to complete these squares. We are going to complete these squares also. So let's do that. So I have x squared minus 6x plus, what would we add here to make this a perfect square also? Now first of all, this is no longer 6, this is now minus 6. Now what is half of minus 6? We know it is minus 3. Yeah. So now we are going to add the square of minus 3 to this to make it a perfect square. And if you add the square of minus 3, this now becomes a perfect square. This now becomes a perfect square. And this is the square of x, which is this, minus 3. Do you know why it's minus this time? Because here is minus 3 all squared. So this is the x minus 3 all squared to give me x squared minus 6x plus minus 3 all squared, which I know is plus 9. Let us now look at the next one. I have x squared minus 2x plus. Now what would I add here to make this a perfect square also? First of all, what I have here is minus 2. And half of minus 2, we all know it is minus 1. Now, to make the perfect square, I'll have to add the square of minus 1. So I'll add minus 1 all squared to this to complete the square. So I've now completed the square. And what do you think this is a square of? This will be the square of x minus 1 all squared. So if I should expand this, I would get back this. Do you see the pattern here now? So help me complete this square. Help me complete this square. It's incomplete. So I have s squared minus 18s plus. So what should I add here to make this a perfect square? Now, the answer you will get, what is it a square of? Put the answer down for me here. And if you are interested, you can. I would be happy if you would write down the answer in the comment section. Now let us now move to, let's say if the coefficient of x is an odd number. Let me bring up another image. Let me remove this image and bring up a new image. If the coefficient of x is an odd number, let me bring up another image. This one here. Remember, baby steps. We'll start from easy ones and progress to more difficult ones. Now, let us now complete this square. Let me make the numbers more larger. Yes. And let us now complete the squares. Let us complete the squares. Let us complete the squares. Let us complete the square. So I have s squared minus 3s plus. Now what would I add here to make this a perfect square? First of all, what is the coefficient of x here? It is minus 3. Let us add minus 3 here. Now what is half of minus 3? It is minus 3 over 2. Remember, we get half a number by dividing that number by 2. So minus 3 over 2 is half of minus 3. So half of minus 3 is minus 3 over 2. So now I will now square this and add it to this to make the perfect square. So to make this a perfect square, it should be minus 3 over 2 all squared. So now what is this a factor of? This is a factor of x minus 3 over 2. This is a square of, please, this is a square of, it's also a factor anyway. So it's also a multiple of this. Sorry for the mistake. So s minus 3 over 2 all squared to give me s squared minus 3x plus minus 3 over 2 all squared. So expanding this will give me back this. So this is a perfect square. Now next one is I have s squared plus x plus what? Now x here, you just see x here. And x you have here is just 1x. So if you have 1x, you just write it as x only. I expect you should know this now. So the coefficient of x here is 1. 1 plus 1 also 1. And we know that half of 1 is 1 over 2 here. So now to make the perfect square, I will now add the square of this here. So I now have 1 over 2 all squared. Does this make sense? So once you have something like this, this is now a perfect square. S squared plus s plus 1 over 2 all squared is a perfect square. Now what is the square of? This is the square of x plus half all squared. So s plus half all squared will give me s squared plus s plus 1 over 2 all squared. If you expand this, you would get back this. So as you can see, now what we're doing is we are completing squares. Now help me complete this square. I have x squared minus 7x plus. Now, what will I add here to complete the square? Now, the answer you will get, what is the square of? So, you can write down the answer down. You can write down the answer in the comment section if you know it. Please, if you are confused, you are free to still write down what confuses you in the comment section down. I think that is that. Now let's now move to if you have a fraction as the coefficient of x, something like this. Let me move this ones further away first so we can have space to place our new image. So let me move this one this way. So in this case now we have fractions. We have fractions as our coefficient of x. How can we complete this step? So now let's look at this one. Let's make it more bold so it becomes more clearer. Now let's continue. So first of all, I have x squared plus 3 over 5x plus. Now, what should we add here to make this a perfect square? Now, first of all, the coefficient of x here is 3 over 5. Now, what is half of 3 over 5? Half times 3 over 5 times half would give me 3 times 1, 3, 5 times 2, 10. So half of 3 over 5 is 3 over 10. So I will now add this square. I will now add the square of this here to make the perfect square. So to complete this square, I would add 3 over 10. But remember to square. So this is a perfect square. And what is this a square of? This is a square of x plus 3 over 10. Now let's proceed further. Now, when solving this, I will make some deliberate mistakes. Now, let me see if you can spot my mistakes, and then before we now correct the mistakes. So just watch, and let me see if you notice the mistakes. So if you look at the coefficient of x here, it is 3 over 4, right? And half of 3 over 4 would give me 3 times 1, 3, 4 times 2, 8. So I'll now add 3 over 8 here. Then if I want to then this is a factor of x plus 3 over 4 all squared. Now, do you notice any mistake in what I did? And how many mistakes can you spot from what I just did now? Let us start afresh now and notice the mistakes. Let me change the color of my pen to highlight the mistakes. Let me use blue. Now, first of all, this is not 3 over 4. It is minus 3 over 4. So the first mistake was it was supposed to be a negative 3 minus 3 over 4. So therefore, minus 3 times 1 should have been minus 3 over 8. This is the first mistake. Remember, when adding, we don't add half of b. Instead, we add half of the square of this coefficient. So to complete this square, I would have added the square of this. So I was supposed to add the square of this. So it was supposed to be minus 3 over 8 all squared. Hope you are not confused. So this is the next mistake. Remember to square the half that you got before adding it. Now, next thing. Now, if I should factorize this, this is what is this the square of? Please remember to take this number here and not this number here. So if you can see clearly, I used 3 over 4, but I should have used minus 3 over 8. I should have used minus 3 over 8. So let me correct that mistake. to minus 3 over 8. Does that make sense? So let's come again, this time the correct way. First of all, our coefficient of x is minus 3 over 4. Minus 3 over 4. What is half of that? Minus 3 over 4. Minus 3 over 4 times half will give you minus 3 over 8. So we now square this and add it to this. We now have a perfect square. And what is this the square of? This is the square of x minus 3 over 8 all squared. Now, my dear friends, help me fill this one up. X squared minus 2 over 3x plus. What would I add here to make it a perfect square? And then, what is it a square of? Fill it up for me and then answer. We've come to the end of the video. I thank those who paid attention and watched the video to the end. You are the ones who make my effort worthwhile. Please, if you are confused about or you have any problems in maths or what I've taught now, you are free to ask questions. We have a WhatsApp group where we discuss mathematics and physics problem. So you can just DM me your number. DM me in short. I will now add your number to that group. The number is 070 32 83 2108. And this is my number. If you DM me with this number, on WhatsApp, yes, on WhatsApp, I will join you to a WhatsApp group called Jesili Polymath, where we discuss mathematics and physics problems. You are free to ask your questions based on what I've taught you today on any other problem having mathematics, where we discuss mathematics problems. So thank you again for watching. And please, this question here, write down the answer in the comment section also. Thank you again for coming. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Goodbye, friends. This is the end of our video. In our next class on this one, we'll now discuss how to use this method to solve quadratic equations. So I want you to just do this. Give yourself numbers, a square minus or plus, pick a number, then complete the square. A square minus 200 plus, complete the square. Just play around with completing around the square. Let it become a part of you. Now when we get to the next topic, completing the square method, notice that everything using this method to solve equation now becomes very, very easy. Thank you again. Remember to like and subscribe, and goodbye.